Bonjour Booktube, aujourd'hui je vais vous montrer tous les livres que je possède qui sont en français. My Google Translate up there because my French is not that good. So what that introduction was supposed to say was, hello Booktube, today I'm going to show you all the books that I have, that I own that are in French. All the books I own that are in French. 6 2/3. Basically, I'm showing you my French collection. So for those of you that don't know, I am a Francophile. At least I know where France is. J'adore le Paris, j'adore le français, mon surname est français, although we pronounce it anglicized, can't fucking speak, anglicized, wow. I like if you can't even see this shirt in this video because like camera angles and shit, but it's there, it's French, we love it, j'adore. I've spoken about this a couple times like on and off on my channel, but I love France. I've been to France once, been to Paris, so I haven't exactly seen the entire country, but I just have this affinity with France. I just enjoy it. I'm pretty sure I've not done much family tree on my dad's side, which is where my surname comes from, but it's pretty guaranteed that somewhere down the line my ancestors moved from France. It just annoys me that it's so far down the generation line that I can't have French citizenship. I mean, come on, I have a fucking croissant pillow, man. Like, fucking j'adore croissant. Honestly, I have not studied French since 2018 when I went to Paris, and my ego got inflated because a guy spoke to me in a shop en français and I answered immediately en français, and then I had a moment where I was like, holy shit, that was in French, not English. And then I just didn't study, and now everything I know is gone. I have been getting back into it slowly but surely, and I brought all of my books that I own in French from home to my grand's to help me practice studying. I mean, there's a good chunk of these books that are just not ones that I will ever read, even if I could read French fluently. But when you see a book in your preferred second language that you cannot speak yet in a charity shop, you buy it. So I just thought I'd show you guys the books that I have. I thought it would be funny for the people who are French or in French speaking areas or speak French and understand it to find it funny to watch me be like, I love France, but I can't fucking read these books. So first up I have, wow, the one that I really don't know how to pronounce. Plaidoyer pour les animaux, vers une bienveillance pour tout by Mathieu Ricard. This, I believe, is non-fiction. I got this for free at a library. They were just like, we want rid of this, none of us speak French. And I was like, I'm trying to read the back to like give you information, but like I can literally pick up like a couple of words. The history of humanity. Cool. But this is some sort of non-fiction book that is obviously, I want to say it's like for the love of animals. I don't know what the word plaidoyer means. Let's see if my camera will do it. Advocacy for the animals, towards kindness for all. This is going to be some sort of vegan shit, isn't it? Like, I say vegan shit, like we don't hate on vegans, like people are just doing their job. But like, is it going to be one of those pushy, people are doing their job? You know what I mean? People are just doing what they feel they have to do or what they need to do. Like, it's fine. But as I say, this is one of these that even if I like spoke French fluently, I would not be picking this up to read. But it was free. It had been there for months. Next, I have, alright, I was getting really confused as to what the title is. I have Victor ou les enfants au pouvoir by Roger Vitrac. So Victor, so the title is either Victor or the children, the poor children? Is pouvoir poor, or I'm getting confused. I don't know. But this is actually a script, so it's one that I may pick up once I've done more studying, because it's going to be pretty much just dialogue, which will be kind of easier to follow. One of the really frustrating things about French, like obviously we all know they have their masculine and feminine they have, their words are in masculine and feminine, and obviously they've got like their different tenses, and it turns out that when writing there's a certain like way of writing, so like the grammar that I learned in school for reading and listening is different to that of writing, and they didn't teach us the different way to like write for like creative writing and stuff.
I too have zero idea what I'm talking about, because I just said the grammar for reading is different for writing, but if I can read it then I could write it, and my problem here is that I can't read it, but I just said I learned how to read. So I think what I was trying to say is that creative writing has a different formula, but I heard this years ago and I honestly don't fucking know. So this whole video is just me acting like I have a fucking clue when really I don't. So
this is just things I've heard. I don't fucking know. So obviously a play is going to be probably easier, but also this was obviously someone's book that they studied, because there's little bits of pencil. There's pencil like marks throughout. No idea what it's about, but I have a play. I also have Rousseau's Les Rêveries du Promeneur Solitaire with a preface by Jean Grenier. Again, I don't know what this is about. This was from the same charity shop, obviously the same person, because it's the same handwriting that has like pencil marks in this in English. It's quite funny because like sometimes I flick through it and they've literally like highlighted a word and like written like a curtain, and I'm like, I remember the word for curtain because it's like the first thing you learn about the things in your house. So it's really funny to me to like see like the things that people like need reminders of and stuff. Another charity shop find I have is Silence De La Mer by Vercourse. I really love all these authors that are just surnames, and they're probably like super famous like French authors, and I'm like, Vercourse? But this is about the silence of the sea. You know me, my French. I'm pretty sure this is a like mystery. Oh, this is also one. This is from the same charity shop. We love that. Again, like it's just I'm not gonna read it, but I own it because it makes me feel like I know French better than I do. Like I can convince people that I speak French better, being like, look, all these French books I have. Like, no. Next, I have a book that I actually bought when I was in Paris, and like I was so proud of myself buying a book. I mean, I could just brush over it, but I'm gonna do it. I did buy books in Paris, most of them from Shakespeare & Co. Oh, I've definitely left some books. Fuck. So most of the books I bought were in Shakespeare & Co. in English, and there was another bookstore that I definitely bought some books, but they were, one was I think an abridged copy of Les Mis, and one was like a tiny little book about Victor Hugo, but they are on my Les Mis shelf at home because I'm an idiot who forgot they were there, but it's fine. But the only book, well, I got two other books. I got one secondhand and I got another one brand new, and I have Harry Potter à l'école des sorcières by someone. They have two different like versions of these paperbacks. One's bigger and more expensive, but I bought the cheap one, and I was like, well, it doesn't say abridged, so I'm really hoping that it's not. Unfortunately, I haven't read this yet, and like it's one that I definitely like. I have the audiobook of this as well, so I am still gonna like read it, like reread it, but read it in French for the first thing, because it's obviously a book that we all know so well. I'm just not gonna let shit in the way. Like I feel like I should actually address this. The author of these books is awful, and I absolutely refuse to provide her with any more money. So anything, if I absolutely have to buy something, then it's gonna be secondhand. But like things like this, like I'm not gonna chuck it out and like feel bad about it. Like the money was spent, it's been done, but at the very least I can utilize it for bettering myself, and if by learning a language, I don't fucking know. Basically just please don't buy any more new Harry Potter books. So this, I was gonna say this would be the last Harry Potter book that I've ever bought, but I think, I don't fucking know. I'm tired. But I actually walked into, I don't know how the shop's pronounced. I want to say Fnac. It's F-N-A-C. I think it's pronounced Fnac. But I walked into the store and it was Harry Potter Day, and like I got like a little ticket welcoming me to like celebrate, and there was a guy dressed as a wizard and he came up to me and was like speaking to me in French, and I was like, I'm Scottish, I just want to buy a copy of the book in French. So I have it. I'm really tempted in like a couple years to like maybe read the first chapter in French, because I've done Harry Potter in Scots. I've done the first chapter, or like the first bit of it, in Scots on my channel. Sorry, I'm getting really distracted. This is the second video I filmed, and this is why I don't pre-film lots of videos, because my ADD goes out the fucking roof. Long story short, I have this in French. I'm gonna read it and listen to it because I have the audiobook in French as well, and we're gonna move on. And the only other book that I got in Paris was L'homme à la voiture bleue. That was awful. L'homme à la voiture bleue by Sébastien Gendron. I got this in Book Off, which is a store I first went to in New York, and every year, I say every year, like I've been to BookCon once, but last year I dragged a bunch of people to Book Off. I was like, come on guys, this place has $1 books, and I literally had like 5 in my hands, and they were like judging me for it, and I was like, they're $1. Like, you're the ones that are idiots for not buying more books at $1. But I picked this up in the Paris Book Off for €1, and I'm pretty sure it's YA because it was like in the YA section. And all I know is about a man with the blue car. I feel like it would be l'homme avec. I don't know, I don't understand French, but I know it's something about a man in a blue car, so love that. My next book, this is the English version, shut up. My next book is Grammon by Alain Furnier. This I've actually read, but I read my English copy. So my friend Aurélie from the channel Knit and Read and I buddy read this book. We did a bit of like a read along for it, but I'm pretty sure it was just us reading it because we were just having a great time. But I really enjoyed this classic, and I definitely want to read it in French one day. I did read like the first couple of pages in French and got the gist of what was going on, but then when I read it again like in English to just check that I had everything right, I just got caught up and read it all in English, which to be fair, it's definitely far too difficult for me to read in French even back then. But this follows a man called Moln, and he basically, like, we're trying to follow his life, but like he works in this like school, and then he disappears for a couple of days and he talks about this house that he found. Like, I honestly can't remember what happens, and it wasn't what I expected, but I really enjoyed it. And it's really sad because Alain Furnier died in the war. Like, I want to say he died like 2 weeks before the war ended or something. Like, or he died 2 weeks into it. He died anyway, and this was the only book he ever wrote, and it was really good, and he could have had so many other good books. But this is a classic that I don't talk about enough, and I need to rate it more, like, so people hear it. Rate it more, rave about it more. Rate it as well. Like. Next I have Love Her Wild by Atticus, which is a poetry collection, but this is the French edition because I thought for some reason that French poetry would be easier because it's short, but like I actually think that's going to make it harder to read. I don't know. I'll read it eventually. Maybe. Next I have Le Petit Prince by Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, obviously The Little Prince, which I've read in English, didn't love. Definitely need to reread, but holy shit, this is a really, really poor copy. Like, it looks like someone's printer ink was running out. It's one that I want to read in English, in French one day, even though I didn't love it when I read it in English. I just think I wasn't in the mood. But I do happen to have a dual language edition as well, so it's where like one page, well actually the way they've done it is one half of the page is French and one half is English, so I'll hopefully be picking this up sometime soon just to like see how I'm getting on. Pretty sure I will not cope, but we'll try. In the same vein of The Little Prince, I have this book of short stories that are in dual languages, or parallel text as they say. This is one where it's French on this page, English on the next. I don't really know how you're supposed to read these, like if you're supposed to read it in English and then read it in French, or read it in French then read it in English, or try and read it in French but like check the English. Like, I don't know. I guess you just do what works for you, but I don't know what works for me. Maybe I'll do one story of like each way. Who knows, we'll find out. And now we move on to my kids' books, the books that I'm actually likely to be able to start reading at some point soon. And first I have, is it Du Toit or Toi Conte du Chat? I think it's, wait no, this will tell me. Toi Conte du Chat Perche, which I think is 3 stories of a lost cat? No, Perdu is lost. Not sure what perche means. Perche even, because of the accent. I thought this was a novel. I'm pretty sure it is a novel. However, I've happened, as it says over the top, théâtre, I have bought the play version, but as I said earlier, that's probably going to be easier for reading in the sense that it's going to just pretty much be dialogue. And obviously I will be more likely to understand dialogue than like everything with shitloads of grammar and like description. So yeah, I don't know, I like the cover, and it's 3 stories about a cat, so we love that. Then I have 3 Le Petit Nicolas books by Sempe Goscinny, which I definitely had in order because I'm pretty sure Le Petit Nicolas is the first one, and then I have books 4 and 5, Le Petit Nicolas a des Ennuis and Le Petit Nicolas et les Copains. I mean, for kids books, they have tiny writing. Like, I think it's one of those where it's maybe like a bunch of different like stories within them rather than full-on novels, because if I recall, they're intended for, I was going to say they're intended for like kids aged or not, but I think that's the next book. Yeah, that's the next book. I don't fucking know. I would have thought these were for like kids, but maybe they're maybe French kids are just more advanced than I give them credit for. And finally, I have Le Doigt Magique by Roald Dahl, which is the magic finger. This is for kids aged like 8 and up, and it's definitely a kid's book, and I've had it sitting next to my bed because I'm like, Emma, you're gonna read this soon, you're gonna pick it up and just read it. And like, this is what I'm trying to like say to myself, is like, just pick it up and read it. You don't have to understand any of it, but you probably will understand some. And then like, it'll be a book that maybe like every month or every couple months I'll read again, just to like see if I've understood any more. But there we go. I have a bunch of books in French. Some I will never read, some I will read very soon, hopefully. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this like really random little like French collection video. If you speak French either natively or as a second language, or you're studying it, if you have any recommendations for books, either just ones that you found enjoyable, even if you think like, even if they're probably too advanced for me right now, just let me know. Or if you have like any study ones. I'm not really big on textbooks. Like, I do have textbooks for studying the language, but for me right now my main focus is vocabulary, so like Duolingo stuff, and then I'm just gonna like I don't know, like they always say like immersion's the best thing, so for me I just like use Duolingo. I watch kids TV, like proper like baby TV on Netflix in French and stuff. Like, I feel like studying the grammar, like it just, you know, at the end of the day, like, you don't start studying grammar properly until you're in like high school. And you know, like, I don't want to like go and be a scholar in French. Like, I just want to like okay, my goal is to read Les Mis in the original French, which is a challenge for anybody because it's old language. But like, as long as I'm conversational, can get by, like, I really don't care at this point. Like, I know the French are really proud of their language, it's like protected and shit, but like, I don't care if I fuck up on the grammar. So like, I don't want big textbooks to like teach me how the language works. I just kind of want to get it in my head so I can understand what's going on, if that makes sense. Like, honestly, I kind of hate Duolingo because obviously it'll be like, how do you, like, it'll be like, say she eats, and I'll accidentally say like elle mange instead of elle mange with like an S, and I'm like, it's the same fucking word. But anyway, this is not a video to gripe about languages and how they work. It's actually a video I'm ending so I can go and do some Duolingo and practice mon français. So thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you have no interest in languages, because like, you're not gonna care about these books. But like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't, leave a comment down below, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye!